Welcome to Germany, Japan 2018 World Cup in Berlin, Germany. Group A, Game 2. I'm posting this game, the only non-US game, because Germany beat the Hungarian team yesterday, one of the perennial favorites. And Japan has a very interesting style of play. And the US has had problems with them the last two games, so we'll see how the Group A shakes out. USA might be playing Japan later on in the tournament. As you can already see, Japan likes to press predominantly on the perimeter and will press the other team's offense way out. And they kind of play a 3-on-3 style. They're also probably the fastest team. The 6 starting players for Japan will definitely be faster than all 6 starting players of most of the other teams. As you can see, a shot, save, out of bounds, a reset for Japan on the counterattack. That was the 5th or 6th player coming down from the defense, finishing up that counterattack. They'll get a reset of 20 seconds. Ball left slot. Shot. Deflected off the post, outside of the field of play. Germany ball. As I was saying, Japan's team, the 6 players on Japan's team will be faster than the 6 players on any other team in this tournament. They are a little undersized. The Serbians, Croatians, Hungarians will definitely have much bigger players than the Japanese players. And the teams that beat Japan are the teams that make adjustments on this 3-on-3 defense they play. As you can see, already an offensive foul at center by the Germans. Japan's playing a good front defense with the 2 wingers supporting, and German player overextended. Another counterattack. Quick drive through. They're always going to follow through their counterattack with drives in the middle. That was a bit of an errant pass, but we'll have another offensive penalty called on Germany. And a couple whistles here. We'll see what's going on. And an exclusion, probably on a drive initiation by Japan. So 6-on-5 Japan. Ball to 6, 5, 4. Shot, goal. He obviously saw something there in opening for a shot. You can see right here just a quick shot. Yeah, just beat the goalie. The German fans sound like they're making noise. Sure, Germany has a good showing here in Berlin. After goal reset, Japan's going to immediately go out and press wherever the ball goes for Germany. And they'll try to keep the perimeter players out to almost half. Germany's going to play a right side 3-on-3. They seem to be confused here, even though they should have been watching tape. Driver, he's outside the post on the wing. He's not going to do much. Overpass, shot, goal. Germany took a little while to set up that 3-on-3 scheme on the right side, waiting for the center to get some separation. They're going to throw the ball over. The Japanese player could have turned and swam backwards, backstroke, to track that ball. Instead swam forward and lost track of it. And the goalie didn't have much of a shot there. Almost a steal by Germany. Right wing. Deflects the pass. Referee's going to call an exclusion on the drive defender. 6-on-5 Japan. Ball at 4. 1. He's popping into the slot. 6. Goes 6 in. 5. Shot, goal. So the Japanese have had 2 just quick catch and shoots on the 6-on-5. No hands up. The hands are coming up as he's shooting. So that's tough to get a shot block, and it's tough on your goalie too if there's a deflection. But the Japanese players on the perimeter on the 6-on-5, they're probably looking at their shooting lanes before they get the ball. And as soon as they catch it, they know if they're going to take a shot on goal. Germany goes back to a straight line 3-on-3. Turn. Inside water. Shot. Appeared to be off the goalie, but they're going to call it off the crossbar. Japanese ball. As you can see, fast counterattack. The guy coming down the middle is going to get inside water, continue all the way down to the 2. They push the defense all the way in. Errant pass all the way over. He thought the wing driver was going to flare outside the post, and instead he drove inside. German ball. 3-on-3 left side. Shot deflected out of bounds by the goalie. If Germany continues to play fast on their offense, taking a quick shot like that, that's going to play into the Japanese hands. They're better swimmers. And we'll have an ejection on holding call. Quick ball. 2-3 posts. Post players playing together well. And once they get that ejection call, the players out at the top of the perimeter have to swim 10 meters to get back into a 5-on-6. So that wasn't going to happen. So the German players are just going to play real quick like a 3-on-2. Inside shot. Goalie, again, didn't really have any way of getting to that ball. Essentially, it was like a 2-on-1 on a counterattack. Driver coming out to the right wing. Going to drive from the top again. Starts, stops. 2 drivers. Notice the Japanese drivers aren't really posting up. They don't have traditional centers who can hold position like the U.S. team has been showing the last couple games. They're going to try to drive, post for a couple seconds, and then get out of there and allow another drive. They'll have to dump it on this German ball. Pushing the ball down on the left side. He's still about 8-9 meters out. Good hands-up defense by the Japanese player. The Japanese perimeter defenders typically play really good hands-up defense. And ball stolen on a step over. Japan not pushing the counterattack on this one. Inside water. Shoot, goal underneath the goalie's arm. That was a slow developing. It wasn't counterattack. They had 2 drivers go through the middle, and neither of them could get position. And the right wing sees the left wing get inside water, makes a really nice pass. Left winger holds inside water for a split second, makes a move towards the goal, gets up big, skip low underneath the goalie's arm. So something you got to watch on the Japanese offensive setup is they're always moving. So these cutaway shots to like single players, we're gonna miss a lot of movement. Ejection on the perimeter. Germany 6-on-5. They're gonna push down really quick to try to beat the Japanese 5-on-6, prevent it from setting up. Everyone's set up now though. Lefty at 6 in, 4. He's middle cage. Shot block. Japan ball. Japan's pushing the counterattack hard. You can see 4 frontline players all are going to push down to the 2. Everyone's down inside the 5. Now they're going to rotate out a little bit. Ejection called. 2-hand hold by the German defender. 6-on-5 Japan. Ball at 4. Down to 6. Right-hander. 6 in. No one's following. 5. 4. 1. Low pass. Good fake. Good shot. That was an excellent fake. I thought he was shooting it. See the replay on this one. Goalie jumped. He saw they had all of the cage open on the right side, and the goalie couldn't get back in the air. All he had to do was beat that shot block by the middle defender. Excellent fake. Excellent finish. The Japanese shooters have been getting better every tournament. It was kind of their weak area 2 years ago. They've always been fast. Always played a very aggressive press on the perimeter and a 3-on-3, line defense. I don't know what you want to call it. But their outside shooting hasn't been great. Ball to center, makes a strong side turn. Japanese player, 2 hands up, and he's going to take off on the counterattack. Sixth man is going to come up the middle. He won't stop either. They'll see him coming. You got a 2-on-1 on the left side. They're just going to wait to see who gets open. And Germany is saved, although the drive comes through the middle again. Too many defenders down low. Shot off the post. And they're going to give it to Germany. See, 3 defenders all got sucked down into like the 3-meter line. The Japanese player had a good look from about 6 meters out. That's what those drives will do. They'll force the defenders to chase down low, and it's harder for them to get back out on the perimeter to shot block. Low pass to a German player inside, tipped away, stolen by the goalie. Wasn't a great pass. Another push by the Japanese team. Draw an ordinary foul on the right wing. Pass to the 5th man coming through. Skip shot. Deflected. Goalie might have got a hand on that. German ball. Another fast counterattack all the way down, catch and shoot. Germany playing into Japan's 3 versus 3 front court offense. And an ejection at center. They're going to play this quick. They got a 2-on-1 here. Goal. Unfortunately, the Japanese goalie just isn't at the level of some of the other goalies, like the Greek goalie, even the American goalie, Barron, to really have a chance at these 1-on-0s. You have one of the players ejected in the 3 versus 3 front court offense. And now you got a 3-on-2, and he just drove it in and shot it, obviously. The other 3 players deep on the perimeter at half can't really do much. They're going to hustle back, but it's going to take them 6-7 seconds to get back there. Japan still is up 4-3, though. Whatever reason, it seems like Germany is controlling the offense, but it's because Japan is scoring quickly on drives and counterattack finishes. Center's holding position pretty well. Germany's in a zone, though. Ball to point. Outside shot, blocked by the goalie. Good look at it. Finish out the quarter. So the last possession there by Japan, not really their strong suit. A dedicated primary center holding position, moving the ball along the outside perimeter looking for a shot. They'd much rather have 2, 3, 4 players drive through within a possession. So Germany showed that they could break the Japanese defensive scheme a couple times. They ran a right side triangle, 3-on-3 triangle, and were able to, I believe, score or draw an ejection. They went into a straight line 3-on-3, and they just beat one of the players with a turn, creating a 3-on-2. And then at least 2 times, they drew an ejection, an off-the-ball ejection. So I don't even think they were ejections with the ball. It was just a wrestling, holding ejection, which causes an automatic 3-on-2 without a whole lot of help from your other 3 defensive players on Japan's team. who are pressing out to half. This is typically what's happened the last 2 years, but Japan wins games with this scheme, so they continue to do it. They just really hope that their backline defensive players can hold off the offensive players of the other team long enough. And if a pass does come from, say, point the ball is at halfway, a long pass into the center, typically you'll see the wings just crash hard to the center because that ball's in the air for a lot longer than normal. That's where Japan gets a lot of their steals. Second quarter sprint. Japan wins the sprint. Germany did come back from behind against the Hungarians to win the game yesterday, so one goal down isn't that big of a deal for them. They have home court advantage. Ball right wing. Drive came through and is sliding out. Another drive on the left side. Another drive coming through the middle. He gets open. Catch. Goal. The German player has to put his hands up. He got beat. Has to put his hands up, or else he's going to get ejected. And the Japanese player knows that and just takes 2 more quick strokes to get into open water. Meanwhile, the other 2 drives that came through earlier make sure to clear just enough out to the outside the post so that their defenders can't stair step over and cover the person coming in the middle. So the Germans are just stuck. If there's that much open space in the middle and a drive gets free, not a lot they can do about it. German driver on the left side shooting through. He was open for a second. German setter is holding. Well, no, he's getting fronted. The point just turned. He's going to swim all the way in and draws an ejection. 2 Japanese players were chasing him for the ball, but he drew an ejection on one of them. 6 on 5. Japanese players are set up. The Germans were late to get into this 6 on 5 just because they were still out at half. 4. Big fake. Over the cage. Good opportunity. Just sailed it over the cage. Great fake right before the shot, though. Japan pushing the counter inside water. Right side. Shot. Blocked by the goalie. Bad angle. Goalie just came up big with 2 hands. Didn't have to cover a whole lot of cage on that. Again, typically not the Japanese strong shooting from that weak side. They normally make a nice pass on another player driving or counterattacking through. Germany, ball left side. All the way across. Bad pass. Intercepted by Japan, and they're going to counter back out. Again, if Germany wants to play fast like this, they're just playing into Japan's hands. Japan wants to play fast, outswim. Driver on the left side. He's got ball side water. He's going to get the ball in. And a 5-meter. Once he beat the German player inside water, he keeps swimming, but he uses his body to protect that inside water position. Ball lands right where he needs it to. Perfect pass. And he just makes a move towards the ball, towards the cage, while the German player had his hands down for a 5-meter. 5-meter penalty. Blocked by the German. That wasn't a great shot. Japanese player didn't even rise out of the water. He just tried to take a quick shot, and it wasn't even placed really well. I mean, if you're going to take a quick shot like that, you might as well put it into the high corner. Experimental rules. Fouls outside 6 meters. You can shoot. You can even fake and shoot or swim and shoot. But 5-meter penalty shots are still taken from the 5-meter line. There's an additional cone marking the 5-meter line. Late on the shot clock, over the cage by Germany. Not a whole lot of offense on that. Counterattack coming through. This is the 5th man. Big fake. Two big fakes. German goalie makes another save. German goalie has had last two possessions keeping the game tight. Another driver through the middle. That's going to be an offensive over the back. Germans. Big fake. He just, again, placement. Last two shots, the placement just hasn't been where you want it. You're going to want it after a big fake like that and you make the goalie jump, just put it in the corner. Ordinary foul, left slot. Gets a big, shoots it off the crossbar, bounces out, bad rebound. Nothing the Japanese goalie can do on that one. Goal for Germany to bring them within one. That was just bad bounce. And the Japanese defender there, number 3, just kind of missed the ball. They popped it out. A couple quick passes. And again, when you have your other players pressed so far out, you don't have any help on situations like that. Just kind of chasing the ball. Almost halfway through the second quarter. Japan on the lineup. They'll have a primary center staying there. Has position to the 1-2 side. Delay driver. Draws the ejection. Went to the right side, then the left side, drew the ejection. They'll draw another ejection. Japan 6-on-4. Ball to 1. Big fake. 6 in, no one follows. 5, 4, 1. He's pressed out all the way over to 6. Inside to the 3 post. That was as good of a look as you'd want. He was wide open. Again, placement. The last 3 shots by Japan have just been placed within the arm span of the goalie where he didn't even have to move. And he's making good saves, but Japan's should be making better shots from those positions. Another goal by the German player, 1-on-1. Ball comes over the top. He just steps away from the Japanese defender, steps out. He has length on him probably. He's probably a good bit taller and longer arm. If he had dropped that ball, probably would have drawn a 5-meter and exclusion with the contact to the head as well. But instead he finishes it for a goal. And that's going to tie it up. Japan setting up for an after goal here. Drive through the right. 2 drives through the right. Center can't hold position on the drive. Another drive initiation from the right to left. Not going to give him the ball. Ordinary foul. And an ejection on the perimeter. Interfering with the ordinary foul. 6-on-5 Japan. They will call a timeout. Talk about this one a little bit. Their 6-on-5s have been, their scheme has been fine. They had a couple goals, a couple just quick catch and shoot, perfect placement. And then the last few, the reason they're not getting goals is because ball placement on the shot is just not up to where you want it to be. Right in the goalie's bicep or chest, not placed in the corners. I believe Japan just made a substitution here. Didn't appear like they even went to the corner for the timeout. Maybe they did. Or the side of the pool for the timeout. Ball to 4. 1. 4. He's middle. 6. 6 in. No one follows. 2 follows. 1. 6. 5. Shot. Deflects off the crossbar. One looked like he had a shot a little bit earlier. And if he would have curled up, he probably would have had the 2 player. Germany, 1-on-1, down low. And they'll draw an ejection. They'll push the ball, but Japan players getting back quickly to set up their 5-on-6. Germany's coming in late. They have 12 seconds left. 5 on the shot clock. 6. Shot deflected outside the cage by the field blocker. Stepped all the way across, probably knowing that the shot clock was running down and one of the 2 players was going to shoot it. They didn't have any time left. There was 3 seconds left. Hard counter. 6 German players late, but they cover up. Another shot from the 1. Blocked by the goalie. Germany, ball on the left side. They had a substitution in the field, so their 6th man is finally getting into the offense with 5 seconds left. He's going to shoot this over the cage. Japan players are lining up at about 12 meters for substitutions, so they're taking advantage of the experimental rule where you can sub all the way up to half on the bench side of the field. Inside move, shot, squeaks in. Off the post, doesn't go in. Had some spin on it, but stayed out. Strong individual move by the Japanese player, finishing the counterattack. And Germany's coming back. They're swimming down. It's a 3-on-3. Now they're set up. Ordinary foul on the perimeter. And a fake shot. Passes it inside to the center as inside position. He just redirects that thing into the far side of the cage. So real good awareness by the German perimeter player. Draws the foul. Gets up like he's going to shoot it. Sees his center with inside position. Probably had his hand up. Say, just hit me in the hand and I'll redirect this. Yep. They've probably done that before. Just positional awareness, and the Japanese defenders are going to front, so if they loosen up that front just a little bit, like they're trying to counterattack or shot block, those quick passes inside, if you have the right angle, they're going to be tough to defend, and they're going to put a shot right on cage from 2 meters out. Japan playing with the dedicated centers. Driver comes through, breaks free, loses the ball, shoots it in the goalie's chest. Had a really good look. The pass was a little bit behind his shoulder, so he had to reach back for it. As he reached back for it, dropped it, but continued to try to go for the shot. Another good drive, though. Full body length, wide open. He probably just needs that pass a little higher so he can catch it dry. Then have a little more time to decide what to do with it. He had plenty of time, too. If he would have caught a dry pass, he would have had time to fake it a couple times. "20 seconds left in the half. The last few minutes have been a lot of up and down counterattacks. Germany, I'm sure they're in shape. I'm sure they train just as much as any other team. But it's a little tough. You're not used to sprinting as much to chase down your opponents. That's a little different training style. Japan is just generally faster. That means the German players are just spending a little bit more energy to chase down players on the counterattack. Little 1-2 punch inside by the German players to try to get a shot on goal there at the end. Blocked by the Japanese goalie. And we'll go into half. The experimental rules, haven't gone over them yet. 20-second shot clock after an exclusion or after a ball is deflected by the goalie out of bounds. Players can substitute on the bench side of the field all the way up to half. We saw a couple of the U.S. men's players do that in the last game, and already at least 1 or 2 times by the Japanese team. Not all the teams are taking advantage of that, but a lot of the teams, generally, their philosophy is they don't substitute during a game anyway. You rarely see it happen. Japan with 19 shots. That's a product of their run and gun, swim down, on the counterattack, 4 or 5 men down, try to beat 1 or 2 of the opponents, drive through 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers in a possession, and get a quick shot off. And Germany was playing into that a little bit in the second quarter by counterattacking and throwing a ball down to one of the front line offensive players early who would get a shot off. And if they don't score, then Japan's going the other way for another quick counterattack shot. So I don't know if Germany wants to get into that game with Japan the second half. They would much rather set up at least a 3-on-3 offense. Even a 4-on-4 offense would be a very good look for Germany. I haven't seen anybody try that with the Japanese defense. Just making sure a 4th person comes down inside, the 7-meter yard line, and let your last 2 players sit at half in the Japanese press. Another experimental rule, the halftime is only going to be 3 minutes versus 5. So as you can hear from the horn, the teams will already be lining up. In the USA versus Serbia game earlier today, we did see an interesting play, based on the new rules where one of the players turned inside with the ball on the perimeter, outside the 6-meter yard line, drew an ordinary foul. At that point, they can swim in with the player on their back and still take a shot. They elected to pass the ball away, but with the new rule, you can take it. You can even fake it and shoot it, take a swim stroke and shoot it, or multiple swim strokes. So that's something haven't seen yet. Someone take advantage of that with maybe late in a counterattack, 6-man down, or turning a player on the perimeter and then continuing the offensive, the individual offense, because you can still take a shot even after swimming the ball and after drawing an ordinary foul outside 6. Third quarter sprint. Germany's going to win this one. Looks like the Japanese player got a bad jump to start off. Japanese player playing high in the lanes, about 12 meters out. Ball overpass, and you see the Japanese wing defender seeing that coming, and he charges down to help his center defender. And they'll draw an ejection on the counterattack. So not only a fast counterattack, but now they'll be 6-on-5. Ball to 1, 4, all the way over to 6. He's right-handed. 6-3. They tried that earlier. Quick goal. This time he placed the ball right in the corner. Pass was a lot quicker too. Finds an open space in between 3 defenders. Just tries to get an equal distance from all of them. And this time he catches it clean. I think probably on the one he threw at the goalie's chest, maybe he just didn't catch clean as well. I think the pass was a little lower on that one too. That was about as perfect a pass as you want, and he just finishes it on the short side. 6-6. Germany, ball left wing. Made a quick inside move. Foul, ordinary foul. Another overpass to the center for a goal. I feel like at some point the Japanese coach is going to be arguing why they're not getting push-off calls. It's hard to see what the center's doing there. He could be getting separation and then turning on his back. So we'll watch that. Drive all the way across from the left to the right. 2 more drives coming through. Crossing. Nothing generating. Another drive comes to the middle. Extremely fast drive. He gets out of there, though. They're looking for ejections on these drives. No center. Nice little inside move, but 2 seconds left, he loses the ball. So, a lot of movement. That speed drive, full speed through the middle. He didn't get held, but he also didn't pop out looking for the ball. Ordinary foul. Well on his side of the, well on the German side of the field. He's getting pushed all the way back into his goalie. This is just going to use up a lot of clock. 8 seconds left. Ball finally gets on their side of half. Another inside move. Nice pass to the German player, but he has 2 Japanese defenders jumping on him at that point. Japan just gets down so quick on the counterattack, all 6 of their players. Ball right slot. And he loses it. Just falls right out of his grip, German ball. Germany player sneaks through. They're going to walk in. They have a 3-on-3. Shot skips over the cage. Japan's going to get out of there. And they get open on the left side wing. Help from the German defender. Just like the Japanese defenders do on those inside plays. Steals the ball, takes off on the counterattack. And he'll go coast to coast. He'll have to stop at the 6. He was asking why goal. He was asking why did his players stop on that counterattack when he's pushing the ball? But his center kept on going, got separation, dry pass, catch and shoot. Yeah, he's asking why are you guys stopping? But the center's like, hey, I'm still open. Gives him another pat. German center, just like all the centers in the tournament, talking about this with the Serbia USA game, centers typically never stop working. You'll rarely see a center stop working, even if the game's a 10-goal game. Drive left to right, ball to right wing, and he's going to get that stolen. Spun the wrong way. The ball landed in the water, and he didn't reach out to kind of control it. German player just swam around him to steal it. Germany's kind of playing a 4-on-4 right now. Gets the ball down left wing. Watch the center. And they'll draw an ejection. 2-hand holding. Do they have a quick pass? Nope. Japanese defense comes back quick. They'll set up their 5-on-6. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball left wing. 4. 6. He's high. 2 big fakes. 3. Shot deflected over the cage by the goalie. One second left on the shot clock, so he was lined up ready to shoot. That ball was coming out of his hand towards the goal no matter what. New shot clock. Shot saved by the goalie. Deflected right to the Japanese player. Japan ball. They're going to have a slow counterattack on this one, relatively speaking, because of those two players that were back playing defense. But they draw an ejection on the drive, right through the middle, 6 on 5. 6 in, no one follows. 5, 4, shot, goal. A couple of these Japanese shooters are just really identifying something going on with the goalie and the shot blockers. See a good look at this one. Yeah, I mean he's just noticing the German goalie kind of maybe deep on his hands or something, because that's the third goal on 6 on 5 where they just caught and put it in the corner, and the German goalie didn't make much of a play on it. He obviously wants help from his shot blockers out there to cover those corners, but the Japanese are just getting really quick shots off on a couple of these. Germany's still up by 1. Kind of playing 4 on 4. Weak side turn, moves the ball in, pass too high to his center. Stolen by the Japanese crash. Probably had the pass all the way over to the winger. Counterattack, ball to the player in the middle. What's the call? Ordinary foul. So they're still even. Another drive coming through. He's delayed. Third drive coming through. Center's posted up. Backhand, blocked by the goalie. Notice the goalie came way out. The only legitimate shot the center had from there was a backhand. So goalie comes way out to cover it, and it goes straight at his face. He blocks it with 2 hands down into the water. Japanese player covering the drive well. And the German winger got a little too impatient there. Throws the ball to the center, even though the drive defender hadn't cleared yet. And so 2 players jump on the center. 1-2 pass, loses the ball. Excellent opportunity for another shot on goal there, just like the Germans have been doing. Those inside passes on a 2-on-1, and he just can't hold on to it. Another fast 1-on-1 by Germany that we didn't get to see. The Japanese player is going to substitute. So good finish by the Japanese player, but they're going to call an ejection before the play. And now a timeout. So an unfortunate play there. One of the Japanese players was substituting into the corner, so they were going to be without a player on their offense, but because they pushed the counterattack so fast, they just played full on 4. The German defenders hadn't made it all the way back yet. Get the ball into center. Makes a really nice move. Continues the move to try to get a shot, and the ref decides on awarding him an ejection. And he continues and scores that ball. So we'll see what they do on their 6-on-5 setup and see if they can get a goal out of this to kind of make up for that premature call. Ball to 5, 6, 5, 4. No one's moving. 1, 5. Staying still. 6 in. No one follows. 5 slide right. 4's middle. 1 sliding out to the slot. 6, 4. Shot underneath. A couple shot blockers underneath the goalie. Low skip to the right corner. A little bit of a sidearm there. See if he snuck it under an arm. Just the goalie's arm. Goalie wants that one back because that was right in his wingspan. He didn't have to move. He just kind of missed at it, swinging at it. He had good shot blockers. There were 2 hands kind of covering the the right corner of the cage, the goalie's right. Tie game. 40 seconds left in the third. Japan playing that lane press. They don't care that he's facing the goal. He's at half. Even if he swings it, they're going to have another player cover down. Ooh. Quick tee shot by the German player, swimming the ball in from half. And it beats the goalie. Goalie got a hand on it, but still goes in. See that again. That was good. You don't see the shot. I didn't even know if it was a tee shot. Just kind of like a push shot right over the goalie's head. You don't see those shots very often at this level. Normally they're just going to pick it up, get out of the water, and bury it as hard as they can. So a little bit of a finesse shot, knowing the situation where he beat the Japanese defender and the defender's still chasing him. Japan perimeter, no one at center. Driver, post up. They had him. Ordinary foul. Draws an ejection. Impeding the ordinary foul. Goal. We're going to check the timing here. The Germans are saying that goal came after the buzzer went off. I'm not 100% sure what the call is going to be here. It was right as the buzzer was going off. The ball was, I believe, was in air. There might be a delay on the feed. Japanese don't seem too happy about it, and that won't count. So Japanese didn't seem too happy about it. The Germans weren't complaining too much, so that usually indicates that they took the goal off the board. Good finish, though. Another good finish by a Japanese perimeter shooter. I mean, they had a few shots that were not placed very well, and a lot of those were inside, inside 4 meters, just quick catch and shoot. They probably just lost the handle. Almost every shot they take from the perimeter where they're able to kind of walk in, they're placing them really well. Something that they can kind of look at possibly when they get stuck in these situations where they have a couple drives to go through and they're not getting anybody open. Their outside shooters are shooting pretty well. Germans seem to be holding strong on this fast-paced up and down game. But as you can see, they definitely have had more personal fouls called against them. So that kind of starts wearing down on your bench. Once you get in the new setup, you only have 10 field players on the roster for a game. So once you get a couple field players with 3 ejections on them, they're done for the game. And with the Japanese up and down, if they can get 1 or 2 players out of the game with too many ejections, early in the fourth quarter, that's only 2 subs. And I don't know if many teams can hold out that long. You definitely see a situation where the Japanese understand that and just start counterattacking all 6 down hard just to wear out the remaining opponents. Fourth quarter sprint. Again, German player. Looks like a long, lanky swimmer. He's 1-3. Generally fast Japanese team, but Germany's got a fast sprinter. Ejection in the middle. Wrestling before the ball came in, so that backhand goal won't count. The goalie didn't make an attempt to block it after the call anyway. 6-on-5 Germany. Vault 1, 5. 6, 6 in. He's a lefty. 5. 4, he's middle. 6, 6 in. He's a lefty, so that's a bad angle for him. 6, 2. Pulled off the ball all the way in. No one followed the 2 player. I mean, they just seemed to forget he was even there. The 6 player, even though he's a lefty, he's not shooting that because he has no angle towards the goal. So a nice wide shot of that replay would have been good to see, because it appeared like the 2 Japanese players just didn't even pay attention to him. Germany up by 2, 4th quarter. Japan pushes down. They're still well outside the 6, most of their players. 1 drive through. He'll release to the wing. Another drive to the left. Cross drive to the right. He'll post up. Entry. Move towards the cage. Held onto the ball a little too long. German player put his hands up. Then the Japanese player dropped the ball, and the goalie just took it from him. Germany slow pressing the counterattack, waiting to develop. Long pass over to the left wing. Shot. They're going to call that a goal. Sneaks it just under the Japanese player's arm. The wing defender, the Japanese wing defender, got stuck on the outside of the play and had nothing he could do to try to limit that shot. Just overplayed. The Japanese defender just completely overplayed the passing lane and got beat on the outside of the German player's body. One of the downfalls of the Japanese philosophy on defense is overpressing the lanes, and if you overpress too much and you get beat like that, you're just stuck. There's nothing you can do. Ordinary foul on the drive. You have a center that's going to stay there. He's got position. Another drive. Open. Catch. Shoot. Blocked by the goalie. Japanese player. Does he get the ball? Nope. Excellent look. Excellent save by the German goalie, too. Stepped across on that one. Right side. 1-on-1. Ordinary foul. Quick shot and goal. They're going to count that. That's a tough one because the ball was inside the 2-meter line when that foul was called. So they called an ejection over there on number 3, blue. But the ball was inside the 2-meter line. So even if the ejection was called somewhere else, you still have to take the ball outside the 2-meter line for the free throw. So maybe he wasn't. It appeared that he was, though. Another goal by Germany. So Germany is just playing very aggressive down on the 2-meter line, bringing in multiple players. They're not falling into the Japanese 3 versus 3 setup. They're making sure they get 4 people down into the attack zone at least. And then they're just kind of manhandling the Japanese defenders, wrestling them and getting in position, drawing ejections, or getting them on the wrong side of their body for a shot. Field block by the German center defender. Goalie had a lot of hands there. There's a shot blocker up on the perimeter. Germans pushing down a good 1, 2, 3, 4 German players down on the bottom line. Inside pass. Misses this time. Wide open though. Just throws it over his hand a little bit. That would have been another easy goal. And again, it's because the German offense is making sure to push more than 3 players down, all the way down to the 2-meter line. Pass into the center. He'll give him an ordinary foul. He pops it back out to the perimeter. He's going to maintain position, but there's a drop. And Japan is just kind of running out of... maybe they're the ones running out of juice right now, because Germany had 4 defensive players back on 3 Japanese players. And the other Japanese offensive players were not moving into the attack zone. Timeout, Germany. So this is a really good look at making adjustments especially on a very different defensive or offensive philosophy. The Japanese, you just know going into this game, they're going to try to press you hard up top. You rarely see them in a zone, and they're going to press you all the way up to half. If your players want to sit at half, the Japanese will press you and just play 3-on-3 on the 2-meter line. But because of that, you have to make a long pass, or you're just relying on a player to make a good turn or something and not lose the ball or not get called for an offensive. So instead, Germany said, well, the Japanese want to play 3 versus 3. So if we keep on countering and get that 4th person down there, now we have another body that can potentially beat one of the Japanese defenders. And here you see the same thing. Beats the defender, walks it in, scores the goal. So makes it a point. The Japanese defenders are going to overplay, press hard. I'm going to turn him. And then because they only have 3 players down in the offensive zone, I have plenty of room. Number 6 isn't going to shift. He's covering the guy in the middle. And we're generally better shooters from inside than the Japanese are defenders. And the Japanese goalie isn't built to really cover a lot of goal on those inside shots. The Japanese driving offense is slowing down too. Post up, he's going to get the ball. Inside move, 5-meter. So something they've been missing the last few minutes is a good pass into a drive who posts up. Spins towards the goal, drops the ball. This time has room between him and the goalie, so the goalie can't steal it. And they are awarded a 5-meter penalty shot for a goal. That goal, Japan hasn't scored. They had 7 goals in the third. So that was number 9. So they've scored 2 goals in about a quarter now, after starting out fairly quickly. Germany, 4 players. 3 on the left side are going to push down. This player on the right side, maybe he tries to turn inside. He's going to fade out to halfway. 2 of the German players are playing a little 2-on-2 pick play on the 2-meter line. Ooh. So that was just a long backhand pass. And that was definitely a push off. Not super obvious. Japan 3-on-3. Step out shot. Misses the cage. Germany's going to counterattack hard. Almost gets the ball inside to the driver. Japan coming back fast. They'll have an inside or a ball side drive. He's going to post up. Now he's getting out of there. There's a 5th and 6th man coming through. Lob deflected away, out of bounds. Japanese ball. The last 2 players on the offense were coming through open. I'll say player 4 and 5. Player 6 was still out at half. But they just couldn't put it away. Ball side drive. Ball up point. Another drive coming through. Hand to the face. He gets the ejection called. initiated the drive, and the German player just put his hands, hit him right in the face with a stiff arm, and got ejected. 6-on-5, Japan, ball of 5, 4. Shot, field blocked away. Japanese winger was hesitant to go get that, but they'll get a reset shot clock. They're even. They have a shot clock, though. Catch, shoot. Deflected out of bounds by the post, not the goalie. German ball. Inside water move by a driver. He's coming through the middle. He was open. He just didn't make much of an effort since there was an ordinary foul on the wing. And an offensive call or a ball under by the German center. Japan coming up fast on the counterattack again. They're going to have one player coming up the middle. Inside water. They got another player on the left side. The other player middle. They draw an exclusion, and they get an open shot, and they hit the crossbar, and Germany is back on the attack. So a very, very complicated sequence there. Multiple drives, a one-on-one play where he tries to make an inside move, but gets an ordinary foul called. Driver draws an exclusion on the other side. Meanwhile, a player is coming free up the middle. Another player is coming free on the left wing. And the result is a shot that goes off the crossbar and stays out of the goal. The goalie didn't even make a play with his hands. Tried to just lunge vertical and get a little tip with the head, which he might have. So a very fast sequence that we haven't seen from the Japanese team in so far this quarter, probably since the beginning of the third. The refs are consulting with the desk about something, possibly ejected players, making sure the right numbers were called. And the referees are mic'd up so they can talk to each other across the pool. We'll talk to the captains here. It appeared a timeout was called. German ball. There's 20 seconds on the shot clock. Now there's... Okay, so it looks like someone called a timeout, and they're awarding a timeout to someone. Wasn't sure who it was. I guess it was Japan. I guess there was a turnover there in the cutaway, and the Japanese team called a quick timeout. And maybe the question was who had possession of the ball and who was allowed to call a timeout. Again, if you don't have possession of the ball and you call a timeout, that is a penalty shot. Japan will set up with 1:57 left in the game. They have 20 seconds on the shot clock for some reason. They have a 20-second shot clock here. Oh, they're up 6-on-5. So it was an ejection and a timeout. 4. Ball to 1. He's sliding pocket all the way over to 6. He has 2. He still has 2. Doesn't have 2. He did not see the open 2-post player there. He also dropped the ball. And the German player, long arms, able to tip it away. So another missed opportunity on a 6-on-5 by the Japanese, just kind of not seeing what Germany's giving them. Remember, someone's always open. Inside ball. It appeared the Japanese player was hit in the face, but they will call a 5-meter advantage call. No look pass, inside water. Japanese player puts his hands up, but he's going to get called for the hold as the ball's in the air, probably. 5-meter penalty shot for Germany. Goal, putting Germany up 14-9 with 1:19 left in the game. We'll see how Group A plays out. Germany beat the Hungarians. Now they beat Japan. So it looks like they are on track to maybe come out of this group in the 1 spot. They're playing really well. Japan, they have their philosophy. They have their style. Inside pass. Doesn't get a shot off. And some teams just figure out a way to break through and score more goals. And some teams just struggle with the full court press, so to speak, and the fast counterattacks. Germany seemed to kind of take the Japanese model and give it back to them. Again, right here, you can see 4-man counterattack, or all 4 players getting down to the 2-meter line, making the Japanese counterattackers have to scramble all the way back. Another big overpass to the center, shot off the post. So Japan will lose this game, and then Team USA is probably going to be third in their group. Potentially could run into Japan in the first round. And they've lost to Japan the last 2 meetings at the World Cup or World Championship. So that'll be a very interesting game if they do meet this weekend. That's the final. Game 2, Group A, Germany versus Japan. Tomorrow, USA versus Republic of South Africa.